Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 6, Episode 4 of I See Bad Movies.
Season 6 already?
Yeah, Season 6.
Wow.
I know. Well, surprise, everyone. You may have heard the lovely, lovely tones of the feline, purr-fect Emma Spicer.
Hi, I see what you did there.
Do you see what I did there?
I do see what you did there.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. So that might actually give us a little bit of a clue as to the movie that we're watching.
Yes.
Now, remember everyone, Season 6 is all about terrible superhero movies. So it might have given you a bit of a clue. Emma, would you like to tell our lovely listeners what we're watching tonight?
Possibly one of the most terrible superhero movies of all time.
Well, that's a long name.
It is Catwoman.
Oh, Catwoman, starring Halle Berry.
Yes, and you just asked me if I'd watched this before, and I got a horrible feeling that I have watched it years and years ago. What is it, 20 years old, did you say?
It is, yeah, 2004.
Yeah, I think I would have watched it probably around the time it came.
Yep.
But I had a horrible flashback
Oh,
that I'd seen it before. I'm pretty sure I have.
when you describe something as a horrible flashback, that's not a good memory.
It's not looking good, is it?
No, it's really not looking good. Just in case you have in any way, shape forgotten what the film was about, let me remind you and our wonderful listeners,
do.
because I can tell you now, I have not seen this film for very good reason, because I heard it was awful at the time.
Yeah.
So, a shy woman, endowed with the speed, reflexes and senses of a cat, walks a thin line between criminal and hero, even as a detective doggedly... see what they did there?
Yeah.
Even as a detective doggedly pursues her, fascinated by both of her personas. They should have put personas.
Yeah.
They missed a trick on that one. So this movie is starring Halle Berry, Shari Stone?
Who?
Sharon Stone. I was just stuck in the Halle Berry, Shari Stone, Benji Bratt. I think it's going to be pretty awful. What do we do next? Oh, we toss a coin, don't we?
Do we pick categories? Yeah, we toss the coin.
Toss the coin first. We toss the coin first.
It's been a little while. We've had a bit of a break, haven't we?
Yeah, Emma's been on holiday.
I've been on holiday. I've had a birthday.
It's all.
By the way,
it's
these
all been...
white cards are showing off my tan.
Oh,
Beautifully.
they really are, aren't they?
they?
Is that why you're wearing a white cardigan as well?
No, it's not actually, but that is a good.
Actually, that is a good
Come back to
tan.
bad weather, but I can't keep my tan up. It's really annoying me. But I'm actually still quite tanned, aren't I?
You're going to have to get
Normally
yourself
very
into a tanning salon just to keep yourself
those things
topped
are
up.
Awful.
I know they're not good
So
for
bad
you,
for you. But then leave us late.
but when the tan's looking that good,
when
Emma,
the tan's tanning.
when the tan is tanning, come on.
I mean, I was impressed with my tan, but
Yeah.
I just know I'm not going to be able to keep it up because we're going to have the wettest summer for
Oh, I
100
know.
years. And I'm like, I've actually got a tan.
It's
I
so.
need to keep the tan.
I mean, at least all the trees and the grass and everything's looking really lush, and you know.
I don't care about that.
No, I know. I know you don't. You
I
are.
look like the old woman from Something About Mary. I'm going to be on my roof with a...
With that reflective. Got to get that chin.
I'll end up like a dried up old bit of leather by the end of the summer. Yeah, I don't need solar panels. I'll just use myself.
Yeah.
Just power the
Just
whole
plug
house.
yourself in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. That's how it works. Oh. Although I'm fully covered because I have no tan.
No.
And I'm Scottish, so.
But this is the thing, you
everything
get a
is pure
tan
white.
and you come back to England and it's gone.
So your
Well,
tan would
actually-
look amazing against me because I'm so
Yeah,
pale.
That's true.
Look at how pale that is.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, see, I'm quite... You
Jesus.
can see my line where I had my wristband on as well. There's a bit of a white line there.
It's still more tan than me.
I know.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
hate you.
I just hate it because I know that by next week it's probably going to be gone.
Oh.
But I'll just wear lots of white until then.
Well, I mean, maybe don't do a sunbed. Maybe invest yourself in some fake tan.
Isn't there
Start it on
medication
now.
Yeah, that fake tan just goes streaky. It just looks awful. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I remember back when I was back in I can't remember what lesson it was, but we had Mrs. Hansen, I think her name was, one of the school PE teachers.
Yeah.
She'd always wear the hockey skirt, right? Yeah. And I remember she was doing our lesson, but she was covering the lesson. It wasn't like a PE lesson. We were in a classroom. And one of the girls pointed out to her, "Oh, miss, your fake tan streaky on her leg."
No.
And I just remember her licking her thumb and just massaging it in to get rid of the streak on her leg.
That doesn't work, does it?
I just like, I don't know. I just remembered, I was like, what the hell's happening?
And then I always think it looks really dirty as well because
Yeah.
it never washes off evenly, so it washes off patchy.
Yeah.
And then you just end up looking like you're dirty.
Did you see that Daisy May Cooper? I saw like an Instagram story of her or whatever where she used like a load of like fake tan that she had, but it had expired and it was all like green.
Oh no. And then it's on there for a few days, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't go away.
That's the thing. When you want it to stay, it washes off really easily, and then when you want to get it off, it does not come off for love nor money.
That's it. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
You're stuck with me. Yeah. See, even if I go out in the sun, I'll like it takes ages for me to tan. Ages and ages.
Yeah, see, I'm not too bad actually, but in Turkey it was like 28 degrees every day, so it was impossible not to get a tan really, because you're out in it. I mean, my legs didn't get very tan because I was in the pool a lot, but you're getting it on your shoulders.
Your shoulders and arms.
I did have to be careful the first couple of days because I was starting to get very red.
Yeah.
And so then I just lathered on the. But I was wearing like a 50 for the first few days, and then I was wearing a 30, I think, and I still got. Yeah, a nice tan. So it was.
Yeah, the 50 doesn't stop you tanning.
No,
it just means you can stay out longer, doesn't it? Yeah. But that's the thing as well. When you have to get in the pool all the time with kids.
Yeah, you don't get your legs tanned. So
no, they don't.
I was just desperate to get my legs tanned, but I did have a couple of days where I did lay on the sunbed for a bit. So I've got a bit of colour on them, but they're even more pale than the rest of me. So it's like, come on, I need my legs.
Well, we all need our legs.
Yeah, I need them to be tanned. But then it's pointless anyway because I've come back to England and it's wet and miserable.
It is wet and miserable.
It was lovely this morning.
Yes.
But then it's just, it's turned to rain.
I know.
So.
And I know apparently it was going to rain some point in Sittingbourne as well. And I just thought, you know what? It's going to start raining just as I get in the car to leave. That's when it will rain. Just as I leave the house.
Normally rains right on school run time. Here.
Yes, yeah.
It can be sunny all afternoon, and then it gets to about 3:10, and it's okay. It's
the heavens open on you.
It?
I know. Right, shall we flip this coin?
Yes.
Okay. I hope I picks it up nicely. What do you reckon? Good or bad?
Good.
Good.
We had bad last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
I was good.
We're looking for the good. Oh no, we're looking for
the.
We're looking for the good in Catwoman. Oh no.
There's going to be any.
All right. Okay. And it's my
your
turn to pick the categories. Okay. Let's go with this one. Oh. A supporting cast. Okay. Could be interesting. Music. Well, does Catwoman have a theme tune? I hope it's sung by Eartha Kitt. Costume.
I was hoping we'd get costume.
It's the first time we've... No, we got costume with Toxic Avenger, didn't we? Or was that hair and makeup? I can't remember.
I can have a look on my notes and tell you.
Oh, I forget you're organised.
We did get costume, yeah.
Okay. Actress.
Okay.
Two of Hollywood's big hitters, Sharon Stone and Halle Berry, could be...
Okay.
One of which is an Oscar winner. So...
Yeah.
I think it was...
J-Lo.
Was it unlinked?
We were
just really picking on J-Lo, weren't we?
We are lately, but...
Oh, special effects.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good. Right, so just to recap, we're looking for the good in Catwoman in this main episode of special effects, actress, costume, music, and supporting cast. All right, Emma, are you ready to go and watch Catwoman?
If we really have to.
I'm afraid it's kind of our job.
Yeah, okay.
Welcome back, Emma. Or should I say, welcome back. There's nothing I could do with that.
No.
There was nothing I could do.
You shouldn't say that. That was another one where I know that you fell asleep for a couple of minutes. I think I might have dropped off for a couple of minutes. Did I? Yeah, you fell asleep briefly.
Oh, no, did I?
But you woke yourself up. I didn't need to wake you up.
Oh, God. I didn't even realise I did that.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's embarrassing.
Fine. Well, it's not because we both fell asleep in one of the other movies we watched. So,
well, were you as bored in this film as you were for Captain America?
No, not as bored.
Same.
But I did find it hard going. Actually, I think it was too long.
Far too long. there were so many moments of it. I mean, I think I even said to you just before the end of the film, I said, how is this film still going on?
Yeah, and we also, when we got to the end sort of scene or two,
Yeah.
we both were like, this is going to be one of those movies where they just string it out and it could be over with so quickly and it's just going to be a long drawn out.
Do you know why they ended up stringing it out?
Why?
It's because there was a piece of string on the set. Halle Berry just couldn't stop chasing it. Hey, listen.
I'm disappointed they didn't have one of those laser pens at some point.
Oh,
She
I
could have just
know.
been darting around following that.
Especially, like, because I know you said at one point during the film, has she just studied some cats for a bit and all the little head tons and it was all very over the top.
Oh, and I should just say as well, I thought I'd watched it, but I hadn't. It turns out I've watched a Batman that's got Catwoman.
Batman, not Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises or something.
Yeah, it's...
No,
it's not Dark Knight, is it?
Yeah, it's the last. I think it's the last Christian Bale one.
Oh, okay.
Not the Dark Knight Rises.
No, it's not the one with Bane in it, is it? That's a different...
Yeah, it is, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the one with Bane.
Catwoman as well?
Yeah, it's got Catwoman.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got loads in it. It's got Talia al Ghul.
Okay, well I've seen the one where
What a lovely voice.
Anne Hathaway plays Catwoman, doesn't she, in that one?
Yes, she does. Yeah.
That's the one I've seen.
Which I think is a better representation of Catwoman because
Yes.
in this film, Catwoman's got superpowers. But if I remember right, and I'm not a big DC comic fan, but Catwoman is just a cat burglar who dresses up like a cat. She doesn't actually have cat-based powers.
I have no idea, actually.
I mean...
And also, was the way she became Catwoman true to the comics, or do you not know?
Well, I don't know, but it's very similar to the way that Selina Kyle... No, that's the character name. Michelle Pfeiffer became Batman in Batman Returns.
Catwoman.
What did I say?
You said Batman.
Michelle Pfeiffer is Batman.
Batman, yeah.
Actually, I'd pay to see that film. But no, Michelle Pfeiffer, when she became Catwoman in Batman Returns, way back in the 90s with Michael Keaton, her character died and was brought back to life by cats.
Oh, okay.
And she was a very kind of, if you'll pardon the pun, mousy character, just like this one. And then she was all seductressy. Is that a word? But
it is now.
It is now. But she was more seductress, like when...
How many different ways can you say it?
She was more seductressful when she came back as Catwoman.
Yes.
And Halle Berry's character doing that. So I don't know if they've kind of just tried to stick with that kind of mythology of Catwoman.
I don't know.
Or if in the comics Catwoman is someone who died and was brought back to life. But I always thought she was literally just like a cat burglar. Because none of Batman's villains seem to have superpowers.
Well, Batman hasn't got superpowers, has he?
Yeah.
He's just...
Yeah, he's just got
gadgets.
money.
He's rich, yeah.
He's got the best superpower. The only superpower that's actually attainable by human beings. Well,
money.
Orphans of rich people. Money.
Yeah.
That's the only real superpower.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If anyone's listening to this and they know a little bit about DC Comics, is Catwoman like mythological character that has powers, or is that just something that came up in the movies?
And this movie doesn't explain the power of the cat at all, really, does it? Because we at one point see lots of pictures of cats.
Correct, yes.
That's meant to be explaining... Is it an Egyptian cat?
Yes, it is, yeah.
So it's meant to be explaining the superpowers of this Egyptian cat that's come to see her and breathed in her face, which is basically how she gets the powers.
Tuna breath.
Tuna breath all over her face. And then it's really funny because you just see all of these like A4 sheets of paper with just pictures of cats. It's like, this doesn't explain anything.
Well, that's the thing as well that got me. In one of the pictures actually shows Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. Because they're all different sorts of Catwomen. And I'm not even sure, maybe they've even got Eartha Kitt's Catwoman in there somewhere. But I know Julie Newmar, who played Catwoman in the 60s Batman, which is still, I think, the best ever Batman.
I've not seen that.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, there's the original Batman movies from the 1960s. It is amazing.
Oh, we'll have to maybe cover those at some point.
There's maybe, well, we could do it in this season.
We could do.
But it's not a bad movie.
Oh, okay.
But there is a scene where Batman has got a bomb and he's trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And like he runs one way and there's loads of women with prams. So he runs another way and then there's like nuns. And he runs another way trying to get rid of this massive bomb. You know, the classic, it's got bomb written along it. But Yeah, it's an amazing scene. And bat shark repellent spray.
Okay.
It's glorious. It's camp gloriousness. But, so, yeah, at some point there's a picture of all those, and they're all historic Catwomen that we're supposed to believe are, from ancient Egyptian time, from the goddess Bast. It's all very confusing.
Yeah.
It's all very, very confusing. Now, this movie starts, okay, with the longest intro I think we have ever seen.
Didn't it go on?
Oh my God. I thought
it was never going to end.
The film is what? Was it an hour and 40?
Yeah, an hour of that is just the opening credits.
It's an hour and 44 minutes, and literally the opening credits were easily 5 minutes long.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's all just like ancient Egyptian stuff and cat images, and it goes on
boring.
and on and on.
Yeah.
I nearly said to you, can you just like pause it quickly so we can see how much time has gone past on these opening credits? And I thought to myself, are they doing like they did in the old movies, the credits at the beginning of the movie, and then at the end there'll be no credits, so it's just the end and that's it? No, we had credits at the end of the film as well. Make up your mind, film. Make up your damn mind.
Also, we looked up the cost of this movie, and it was 100 million, was it?
Yes.
But it took less than 100 million, didn't it? It actually lost money.
It lost around about 18 million it lost.
But bearing in mind, this was back in 2004, was it?
2004, yes.
So that's an even bigger budget if you go back 20 years.
$100 million.
20 years
is
ago.
the budget, yeah.
And I had a quick Google, and apparently the average cost of a movie in Hollywood is 100 million now. So...
Oh, God.
That's... If that's accurate, I don't know. I've just Googled that. So 20 years ago...
Yeah.
That would be even more money, wouldn't it? That would be worth even more. So they spent a hell of a lot of money on this.
Yeah.
Crap.
I wonder if there's anything to tell us the average movie budget.
I looked it up quickly last night, and it just...
In 2004, though. That'd be good to know.
Yeah, I did. I looked it up. I think I did look it up for this year.
Oh, no, but for 2004.
Oh, no, I didn't look it up for then.
Let's have a look. Average movie budget. Oh, for God's sake. I hate when it does that. You'll be... I'll click on my thingy to search, and then it will search in the web page that I'm on.
I think I put Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
Oh, 98 million it's saying here.
What, in 2004?
Yeah. So how can it still be 100 million now? Maybe I've got that wrong then. Let's have a look for 2024. I mean, I guess that back then, maybe CGI would have been more expensive on something like that, because it was quite a new...
See, to tell you what though, that's really interesting actually. The average movie budget in 2004 was $98 million, but by 2005 it was $60 million.
Oh.
So is that at the point where the movie places had been like, you know what, we're spending a lot of money on big budget films and we're losing. And they were like, no, was that the end of things like Blockbuster and all that, 2004, 2005? I don't think it was, though, at that point, was it?
I know I went to Blockbusters in the 90s, but I don't know how much into the 2000s it went.
Renting at home, I know definitely in that sort of time, the town I lived in didn't have anywhere you could rent movies.
I know Love Film was around
early
2000s, because my friend did that for a while, and that would have been probably up until about 2010 maybe. So that was the beginning of kind of, you'd rent DVDs and they would send them to your house.
Yes.
I don't know when the streaming services all came in, like digital TV, smart TVs and stuff. I'm not sure when they all came in.
See,
like
I mean,
Amazon and your Netflix and all of that. I don't know when that all started.
Yeah, see, because Blockbuster closed down in 2013.
Oh, okay. So longer than I thought, actually.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you imagine, like, my town, you couldn't rent a film.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I tell a lie. We'd go to the co-op and you could rent movies out the co-op at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there were DVDs in there. I always remember, because that's actually a good point. My wife and I at the time, we went to rent a DVD there, and we were like, no, sorry. They were like, we can't rent this to you because you've got an outstanding fine on a film you've not returned. And we were like...
Yeah, did they ever get fines out of people?
What are you talking about? we haven't. We were like, what film is this? And it was a movie called Payback with Mel Gibson in it.
And you didn't pay back.
No. But it turns out that it was her ex from before us had rented it out.
Yeah, I think you've told me this before.
And they'd literally rented out a movie called Payback just to get at us. It was like, what the hell? I mean, it was really like the daftest thing in the world.
Yeah. I mean, you're never going to get to see the reaction to that either.
No. It's like, I mean, is he sitting there now going,
revenge is sweet.
I wish I could have seen their faces when they were refused.
Name him, shame
him. Ian Tarrant. Ian Tarrant. Any relation to Chris Tarrant? Don't know. Anyway, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy days, eh? But yes, anyway, we're getting...
Should we talk about Catwoman or...?
Why bother? It was rubbish, honestly.
Okay, night everyone.
Night everyone, yeah. No, okay, fine. We'll talk about Catwoman, but I don't know if it's worthwhile going through the whole synopsis of it. Do you know what I mean?
No, because...
I've got a synopsis I can read out, and we can maybe just go through what's happening with it.
Yeah.
I think that's probably going to be best, because...
I feel like there isn't an awful lot of storyline to this, is there?
No, there really wasn't. So after the world's longest opening credits, right, we see the figure of a limp woman with long curly hair drifting underwater.
Yes.
And a voiceover then starts to question the end of a life that never truly existed. I know. We get really deep into psychology here with it. This life ended in murder as well. So it's our titular character. Yeah. Catwoman, who is Patience Phillips in this? Patience. God, you have to have a lot of patience for this film, I'm telling you. So she's the murder victim herself, unsure of who her killer was and why she was killed. And then we get, I think, one of the worst lines ever. Yes. Which I think you're probably going to have as a wild card. Because I know you have, but we're doing good, aren't we? So I might talk about that on the flip side. Yeah, it'll be on the flip side. Yeah. It'll be on the flip side. And you can always join us on the flip side, ladies and gentlemen. You can always join us. Okay, so but then the film starts proper, and it starts with Patience Phillips, Halle Berry, a timid woman who cannot stand up for herself. She lets people walk all over her, and we do get a bit of a voiceover, her telling us that she's wasted her artistic talent working as a graphic designer for a cosmetic company. Same, babe, same. She could have been an artist by now. That I think is what she says as well. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's an artist as well, isn't she? She's got paintings at home. Yes, she does paintings at home. And this film as well I think, went through a bit of a development hell because apparently it tested poorly with test audiences. I mean, not surprised. Yeah, not surprised. But they did loads of reshoots and they re-edited the film and all that. And that's probably what took up all the budget then. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Yeah, and loads a lot of CGI, isn't there? So there's a lot of CGI. Because there's this scene of her walking through the streets late for work and she's being bumped around by people and all over the place. Yeah. But apparently that scene was supposed to happen after one of the later scenes when she's rescued by the detective. There's a moment, we'll get to the bit where she's rescued. But all of that was supposed to happen after, but they cut it and brought it forward. And I didn't realise this, but day one she's in work and she's working with her colleagues and they're all wearing a set of clothes. Day two in the movie, everybody's wearing the same clothes. Oh, I didn't pick up on that. Yeah, so it was like everyone was wearing the same clothes because what happened later was cut from where it actually was in the timeline and put earlier on. Very strange. Very strange. Although I'm sitting here in the same dress I had on yesterday, so that does happen. People do wear clothes more than one day. Yeah, I'm wearing the same pair of jeans. Yeah. Yeah. That's so fine. I guess that does happen, but not everyone. Yeah. You wouldn't have everyone in the office in the same... Everyone in the office in the same clothes, you know. It might happen, but... maybe there was a shortage in washing powder that year. Maybe. Why are we finding excuses for the film? Stop giving excuses for Catwoman. Sorry, I'm being really mean about Catwoman. Something good. Just something good. So the company's run by a fella called George Hedaya, with his supermodel wife Laurel. Laurel was played by Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
George Hedaya is played by a fella called Lambert Wilson, who listeners would probably recognise him as the Merovingian in the Matrix movies. Because I was like, oh, I recognise that guy. And I could not think what it was from, and I looked him up and it was Matrix films. So now this is really interesting, right? Laurel must be, I don't know, okay, if you're a graphic designer in a cosmetics company, okay, unless you are like the head of design, like I don't know if there's such a thing as a CDO, Chief Design Officer.
Yeah,
okay?
if you've got a big design company, you'll have senior
You are going to be
designers and
senior
creative directors and things like that.
Yeah, you're going to be like, how the heck is little old Halle Berry's character sitting in her booth so well known by Laurel and George that they are they will have discussions about how capable she is at packaging their cosmetics perfectly.
Yeah.
And how they believe in her being able to do these things, and then get so wound up and cross when she herself doesn't do it right. I mean, surely you've got design teams working on these things when it's a big thing.
Yeah, it looked like a big design agency, didn't it? It was quite a big company, so you'd have a whole team of people working on a campaign, I would have thought.
But all of this was just down to her.
Yeah, and it was down to her not only to do the work, but also to get the proofs to the client as well, wasn't it, later on? And things like she was there like late at night, everyone had gone home, and she's putting the proofs into a postal tube.
Yep.
And she's got to get to this other office and drop off the proofs.
Oh yeah, because she
because the courier doesn't turn up, do they?
Well, no, the courier doesn't turn up because they're like, no, it's way too late. We're not working at the moment.
Because it's like dark outside late at night.
It boggles my mind. It was like, this is written. It really annoys me, right? Working in business and working for a big company, and I just think I watch these things and I just think this is clearly written by someone who just doesn't understand how businesses work.
Yeah,
they just don't understand how it works, and I also get that feeling sometimes. In My Dad Wrote a Porno.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what?
So funny.
I listened to that. I've not listened to a lot of it, but I listened to it, and you can tell that their dad is a businessman. The dad is a businessman because he says things in the books which are like, actually, that's so boring. It is just like how a company works.
What's really shocking about that is, and really telling of that generation. Is that he is in his 60s when he wrote that, maybe?
Must be, yeah.
And he's had 2 children, I think.
Yeah.
And he's been married for a long time, and he doesn't understand a woman's anatomy whatsoever. It's scarily
if I had to
inaccurate.
hear about another cervix being grabbed.
Yes. I was literally, when I was listening to it, I was like, ouch.
I don't have a cervix, and even I kind of doubled over a little bit.
If somebody's grabbing your cervix, that's abuse.
Oh, yeah, that's
not,
that's not a fun time.
You're going to end up in hospital. That's not. This is not what people are doing.
No.
And the blinking.
Oh God,
Belinda blinks. Like, do you think he meant winking?
Well,
I mean, winking's not sexy either, but blinking.
I don't know, but it's like that
sexy.
old kind of like thing, like digga. That's like
maybe like cartoons.
When the cartoons like
Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
It's his. You worry for his wife if that's what he's writing about, a sex life, because what the hell has that woman been through? If that's what he thinks people do in the bedroom, it's quite scary, but it is hilarious.
Yes,
it is hilarious, and you must listen to it if you haven't.
Oh, I know, but I think I actually ended up stopping listening to it because there was a whole discussion from them about expenses. So I work in the expense world.
Oh, okay.
And there was a whole discussion of the actual hosts about why is it going into expenses? What's going on? And I was like, because she's on a business trip. There has to be expenses. The dad worked in like as a businessman of
Yeah.
some
Some
effect.
sort, yeah.
So there has to be expenses. I got wound up by it.
It's the opening, like the first page for me, where she goes to a job interview and they ask her to take off her blouse. And it's only when she gets right down to her underwear that she's like, oh, I feel a bit self-conscious. And it's like, at what point in a job interview do you go, oh, take off my blouse? Oh, yeah, okay. Like, no.
Well, I mean, for me, I think it'd be the point of realising, oh shit, I wore a blouse. I was meant to wear a shirt and tie. Oh no. Maybe that's why they're asking me, excuse me, Mr. Keane, can you take that blouse off, please?
It's just straight in there, isn't it, with the...
Well, in more ways than one.
Yeah. I mean, it's shocking.
It really is. Anyway, Laurel Sharon Stone, okay,
Yeah.
knows that Patience is a capable artist. However, she's a very indifferent kind of boss. She's a very uncaring person. And he kind of uses Patience in a power struggle between her and her husband. They seem to be the worst husband and wife duo. But the reason is, Laurel is the face of the company, but she's actually being replaced with a new model. But I'll get on to kind of that in a moment. George is, I mean, although, like, well, George is quite abusive as a boss.
Yeah.
He's quite angry and shouty, puts people down a lot. But yeah. So the company, they're about to launch a new anti-aging product that apparently this Laurel has secretly been using for years.
Yeah.
And the advertisement's designed by Patience, but George, not happy with it, demands that she redesigns it. I mean, he really tears into her about it as well.
Yes, it does, yeah. It does look shit, to be fair.
Yeah, oh yeah, it really does, yeah. So, Patience, obviously, she's got no time to do it in the office anymore. And bear in mind, we've met her workmates as well. Imagine Patience's workmates are your typical kind of 90s sitcom friends.
Yeah, they're so annoying.
They really are.
There's the token gay friend, isn't there?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a really annoying female friend.
It's basically Will and Grace.
Yeah.
I think. Well, not, I mean, like, token gay friend, but, like, Will's the gay guy.
Yeah.
Well, his name's not Will, but you know what I mean. There's one gay guy, one sassy woman,
Yeah.
and then there's Patience, who's...
This little meek,
This-
shy,
yeah.
timid little thing.
And bless her. So Patience, and we also find out that Patience's friend has snagged herself some of this face cream and is using it.
Yes.
So, like, she's the only other person on the planet that uses it.
That's quite important later on,
Very
isn't it?
important later. Hold on to that fact, okay? So Patience goes home. She sees a cat looking up at her. And this is the weirdest thing. I know. She really pays attention. This cat's sitting on a biker across the road and staring up at her. But
Yeah, as if you would take any notice. Like, you see cats around the streets all the time. You don't take any notice, do you?
No,
it's just a cat.
Well, I mean, actually, I do. Because
you?
it's like a cat. It's like, hello, cat. I like cats. So I'll be like,
Really?
oh. I mean, there's a little cat that hangs outside my front door.
Yeah.
And every time I leave, they just kind of look at me. And they're always in the road. And I'm like, if I hear a car coming, I'm like, move, get away.
Yeah.
But it always moves. But yeah, it's always there.
Yeah.
And I'll have little conversations with it.
Oh, friends. Cat friends.
Cat friends. Football friends. Actually, maybe I'm just hoping that I'll get Catwoman powers.
Yeah, you're hoping that it breathes its tuna breath all over your face and you'll
Oh, God.
either turn into Neil Breen or the cat.
Actually, I'd be
Maybe
happy.
that's what Neil Breen... He'd maybe had a cat breathe on him and that's why he was eating tuna.
Would I be happier with Catwoman powers or becoming the next Neil Breen?
Coming in next Neil
Discuss.
Breen. You'd rather be the next Neil Breen.
I think I'd rather
Come
be
on.
the next Neil Breen, yeah. Absolutely.
Think of all the swimming pool scenes that you could do.
Yeah. We have to get naked in a swimming pool, I'm sorry. Whoops.
I need loads of 25-year-olds. I need a swimming pool.
Oh, you're half my age. Oh, no. Oh, what a life. Much better than furballs from cleaning yourself. Yeah, much better. Anyway, so anyway, she doesn't think much more about it. She goes to bed, but she can't sleep because her neighbours are keeping her up with a really
they
loud
keep
party.
having parties, don't they?
She kind of really goes to her and is like, "Can you please keep it down?"
Yeah, as if I can hear her. And it's like, what, 3 or 4 in the morning, isn't it? So it's...
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the alarm clock very specifically tells us this. Now, on the next morning, Patience gets up and that cat, the same cat, is on a window ledge. But
Yes. This is funny, this bit.
so Patience goes to approach the cat, but then the cat's kind of disappeared and she's looking out the window and the cat's now on a higher up part.
Can we just bear in mind while you describe this bit that this is just a strange cat? It's not her pet cat.
Not her cat, yep.
This is just what we can only assume is a stray cat or someone else's pet, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not risking my life for an animal that isn't my pet. Sorry.
That's fair. Absolutely fair. I don't think...
If I could save an animal without risking my life, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to risk my life.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll get stick for that, but I'm not risking my life for a cat that isn't my pet.
Because it's not like she's gone out onto a fire escape or anything.
No, she's just come out of the window.
It's like a 4 or 5 story drop.
And also, cats are known for their agility and they can jump around and they can walk on like the thinnest little fence.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, cats are okay. Humans, not so much.
Absolutely
so
not.
I would kind of think the cat's got a much better chance than I have of getting down.
And I've only got one life.
Yeah,
they've got
cat's
9.
got 9.
Quite right. I love cats, but I would not be climbing out that window to get a cat 4 or 5 stories
it's not
up.
a fire escape. It's literally she's on the window ledge and then she's standing on an aircon unit. And I said to you at the time, every movie you watch, any sort of disaster movie, it's always an aircon unit falling off a building and crashing to the ground and killing somebody. Those things are always in the movies, just falling off buildings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And she's standing on it.
She is. I know. So so she climbs out the window to try and reach the cat. Okay, but a passing detective played by, oh my God, I was just saying his name a minute. Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah.
Played by Benjamin Bratt. Mistakenly thinks that she's out on the ledge and that her intentions are suicidal. Okay.
Yeah.
Which. What a great comedy moment. Let's use potential suicide as a comedy relief moment. Honestly. 2004 writing or what. So he ends up rushing into the apartment and just as she starts falling, he leans out this window and grabs her with one arm.
Yes,
a fully grown woman.
So she's at this moment, is she straddled between 2 windows or is she on the aircon unit still?
She is on the aircon unit, but the aircon unit gives two, but she kind of goes to. So if you imagine the aircon unit is in the window next to the window she climbed out of.
Yes.
She's on top of it, but as she falls in front, diagonally down in front of the window.
He has to reach right over.
Yeah.
So he's not just leaning out of a window. He's leaning out of a window and at an angle leaning over.
Yeah. With one arm, he's holding onto the window frame. He's got the other arm around her.
Yeah.
They're both street pizza.
Yeah.
They're both.
It's not.
But
it's not happening, is it?
But it's Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently he can do these things.
And he's a police officer.
Yeah.
He's working. He thinks this woman is suicidal, and yet he still flirts with her and wants to ask her out.
I mean, talk about
not very professional, is it?
Using your power there. Yeah.
It's not very professional, and also, if you think someone is suicidal, they're probably not in the best place to date.
Yes.
Probably need some mental health help rather than a date.
Yeah, and especially then because when he gets her back in, she realises she's late for work and she runs out the door, but she drops her wallet. He picks it up.
Yeah.
And I thought this was quite funny. She drops her wallet. The first thing he does is opens it up and pulls out a card. It's like, oh, okay, let's just see here. I'd have gone for the cash, to be honest, mate. But yeah, so he tracks her down to her workplace. He's Detective Tom Lone. I mean, what a name. Tom Lone.
What a guy.
I know. Tracks her down to her workplace and returns it to her. And asks her out on a date. They're going to they're both going to go out for coffee. And what... Oh, God.
Oh, the friends.
What does her friend suggest that she wears?
Her friend suggests that she wears her leather number. To a
That she
coffee
got her.
date.
Yeah, a coffee date, a leather number.
It's a bit much for an evening date, leather outfit, but...
Especially when you see it.
Can you imagine you're going to Costa or somewhere and your date turns up in a full leather outfit? Yeah, it's like you say, especially when you see it, but... if I was a guy and I was meeting a woman for a coffee date in the middle of the day, and they turn up in a leather outfit, I'd be like, oh, okay, I think I've got to go.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I had gone for a coffee date with someone and they turned up in that leather outfit that Halle Berry turned up in, I wouldn't be thinking, I'd be thinking, I'm quite probably not going to be able to walk for the next week, so I'm going to make the most of this, but then never see you again, because clearly you are insane.
I mean, it's just a lot for coffee.
Living la vida loca. I see this coffee's turned into a few espresso martinis.
Or any kind of leather outfit is a bit much anyway, but let alone for a coffee date.
And also, it looks like really warm weather out there.
Yes, that's what I was thinking as well.
Who's wearing leather?
Way too hot.
Oh, God.
It just makes me think of Ross from Friends with his paste pants. When he takes them down, he can't get them back up.
Honestly, Jesus, it's like, I'll drive you to your place. I'm just going to crank the windows open though.
Can we go on the motorbike? I'm ready.
She doesn't have the motorbike at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. So later that night, so Patience works all day to get the artwork updated because the boss isn't happy with it. But she has to go to the production factory to deliver the artwork. And she accidentally overhears that the Bowline, this new face cream, has unsafe health problems. Basically, if you start using it, you have to use it forever. Otherwise, when you stop, it's all sorts of scarring and all sorts of things, okay? So stunned, she backs into several tools, of course, revealing her presence. She's chased through this cosmetics company's production line is very much like...
It's crazy.
It's like the most insane chemical factory you've ever seen. It's got bright red chemicals, bright green chemicals. No wonder it's burning people's faces off.
Yeah.
So anyway, two large men chase her into a large wastewater pipe. She's trapped in there, and then they flush her out into the river where she drowns. And that's us back to the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, cut to a dead Patience washed up on some sort of silty kind of waterbed, okay?
Yeah.
And this is where, all of a sudden, lots of real cats all come piling around, but then one CGI cat comes up.
Yeah, so they're clearly, like, the big group of cats is real cats, because I was like, why don't they just use a real cat? But I guess they want this CGI cat to do certain things and certain movements and stuff, so they CGI. But it looks so obviously CGI'd. That's the trouble. Yeah,
and then breathes tuna breath into her mouth, and she wakes up.
I'm sorry, but...
I know.
So my dog doesn't even eat fish. He has nothing fishy at all, but his breath... is something else, and it does sometimes smell fishy. I don't know how, because he doesn't have anything fishy. But when he breathes, if he like yawns in your face or something, you're like, whoa.
Well, you wouldn't allow anything fishy in the house.
No, it's disgusting. Okay, so I can only imagine that a cat's breath is 100 times worse, because cats do actually have
It's not great. It's not great. My kid's new cat Scrap.
Yeah.
He'll run up and he'll sit on my chest and he'll kind of rub my face and all that.
Yeah.
But if he does it just after he's eaten...
it's
my God. I love the wee guy. I absolutely adore him.
Sort your breath out.
But honestly, like chew a mint, mate, come on.
I tried to get mine the minty dentist sticks.
Oh,
he
really?
has those all the time, clap on his teeth. And I thought, that might freshen his breath. No, it threw up, didn't like them.
Oh, no.
So I was like, I can't use those. And then I tried the powder that you put on their food. You can either put it in their food or their water, and it's meant to freshen their breath.
Right.
Wouldn't touch his food or water, so I was like, I can't use that. I've got a spray, but I haven't even attempted that, because that's not going to work, is it?
Oh, no.
So I'm just like, I've got to just put off your breath.
Speaking of those sprays, do you remember, like, I don't know if you still get them nowadays, but those, like, breath spray things?
Yeah, I don't know. I do remember them from when I was younger, but I don't know if you can still get those. Probably can.
You probably can, yeah. I mean, Lotharios everywhere are like, I need my breath spray.
Is it on Dumb and Dumber where he sprays it out of his mouth?
He misses him every time.
Bless him.
Patience eventually drags herself unsteadily up and returns home. Her movements are off and uncontrollable, and she ends up breaking the glass through her own window. This is after she jumps up as well. She jumps up and this is what gets me, right? When she's hanging out the window trying to save the cat, she's like 4 or 5 stories up. But when she jumps up onto the back of the building, onto the fire escape, she only jumps up onto the first floor and smashes a window in and goes in there.
Yeah.
So, little inconsistent. What floor are you actually on, Patience?
That's true, yeah.
Dear oh dear. And for that reason, 0 stars. No.
Yeah.
No, there's other reasons for that.
Yeah, there's other reasons.
Anyway, she ends up breaking the glass through her own window, and then her neighbours start their usual loud party again. She yells at them to be quiet, but they again ignore her. Now, the old Patience would have backed down, but now she strides down, knocks on the door, promptly beats up the host, and destroys the music equipment in front of all of their shocked guests. Okay? So, wow, this is not like her. What's going on? Oh, we don't really care. Anyway, she wakes up the next morning and she almost dismisses everything as a dream, apart from the fact that she's up on some ledge.
She just like hops up. Yeah. Oh, she's woken up on some kind of floating shelf or like ledge in her apartment. It's weird.
It's very strange.
And she's got like a duvet and a pillow up there.
Yeah.
And then she's just kind of like jumping up, like, so she'll just jump up from the floor straight onto a table or a bed or something. Like, she's just sort of a bit like a frog hopping.
Yeah.
She's just all of a sudden she's just on another surface.
And I just think she looks more like a frog because she's lunging a lot.
Yeah.
Cats don't lunge. They just...
No, a cat would jump more and their body would go long, wouldn't it? And then they would... Yeah.
But then she just sits on her, like, back legs, lunging.
Yeah, she does.
Like,
she's more
into
like a frog,
squats, like squatting, sorry, not lunging.
Just
she's
really thought
squatting.
that. Yeah.
And she looks more like a frog than a cat.
Yeah, she's not cat-like at all.
No, she's really not.
But it did make me laugh the way she was just like badoing, badoing, like jumping around all over the place.
But yes, she almost dismisses everything as a dream until she sees the broken glass. However, her memories of what happened that night are really blank. So completely clueless, she actually returns to work. At work, George loudly yells at Patience in front of all of her co-workers for not handing in her project. And she tunes him out because she's just working on her little bits of art, which gets him even angrier. And she then apologises, but he only continues on, just bawling her out. But then Patience then apologises for wasting her time in the company. Well, that's a bit... She doesn't apologise for wasting her time. Well, she says, I'm sorry I wasted my time. So that's how she kind of does it.
Yeah.
But she instantly gets fired. Amazing job.
Yes, she does, doesn't she?
Well done. But as soon as George leaves, all her colleagues swarm around her, congratulating her for this. Anyway, she packs up her things and she's walking home with a friend. She's barked at by 2 dogs in the street, because obviously she's a cat now. So, and she, I forgot about this, she hisses at them as well. Oh dear, it does make me chuckle. But yeah, she gets, her friend questions her, what was that all about? And she's like, allergies.
Okay.
I know. But they pass by a jewellery store, and Patience's attention is caught by a beautiful collar-like necklace. But her friend tells her that you're unemployed, really, and that is a bit tough. Her friend collapses at this point as well. Again, why is her friend suddenly collapsing?
I wonder.
Maybe because she's using the face cream. But yeah.
Don't give it away.
Oh, come on. We all know the face cream is a bad thing. I mean, you know. Once home, so once she gets home, she stays with the same cat again. And the cat comes close enough that she's able to look at the collar and find out the cat's owner. So she finds out the cat belonged to an older woman named Ophelia, a former professor who lived alone in a house full of cats. So she goes to see her, and she explains that the cat constantly appearing in front of Patience is named Midnight, a rare Egyptian Mao breed who likely has been watching patients for several days, knowing that she was about to die. So she explains the cat has special powers that are given only to a few deserving women after they die. Hence, after patients died, she's reborn with new cat-like powers. History tells of women with the senses and agility of cats, and Patience has now joined their ranks. Patience and Catwoman are two completely different people, yet they are one. Right, mumbo jumbo over. Fine. So now, Patience kind of dives into this. She digs up her leather outfit she once received as a gift but never wore, and dons a cat mask that Ophelia gave her. Like this little, would you say like a ball mask, isn't it? It's just
Yes.
a very, like, just covers the eyes kind of thing. So, Catwoman finds the man who tried to Catwoman finds the man who tried to shoot her before drowning Patience. Okay, so yeah, Catwoman kind of finds her because this is where like her memory's really foggy, but Catwoman remembers some stuff, but Patience doesn't. It's not really covered very well in the film with that.
No.
So yeah, she finds the guy who tried to shoot her before they flushed her out. But after a fight, she learns that he had no idea who the girl he killed even was or why he'd been called in to eliminate her. He only knows it was something to do with the company, perhaps something to do with a corporate scandal or something, and that she should probably check with people at the top. So Catwoman then agrees that she's going to go to the company headquarters, only to find another man she'd seen the night of her death lying dead on the floor. So I think they've actually missed a bit in this synopsis, but I don't think it matters. I'm not that worried. Because she goes back to the production plant, and the scientist that was telling Sharon Stone's character that all these health issues with it, he's dead. And she kind of has like a memory of him saying, I can't live with knowing that this has happened.
Yeah.
So he's dead, but I think it's staged to look like suicide, but I'm not quite sure.
I don't know.
Or
no, they're setting. Aren't they framing her? They're setting like looking.
No, I realise. I think
they?
Laurel is actually trying to frame her husband at this point.
Oh, okay.
And it's only later Laurel decides to frame Catwoman. Yeah. That's it. So she finds this scientist dead. She finds the scientist dead. Oh, that's right. A passing janitor walks into the scene and thinks that Catwoman is the murderer, and she's forced to flee when the police arrive. Okay. So now she's a wanted criminal. Catwoman sneaks into George's private residence, where she briefly gets into a fight with Laurel, i.e. Sharon Stone's character. Catwoman demands to know where George is, telling Laurel about the terrible effects of bowline, not realising that Laurel obviously already knows. George knows nothing about all this.
Yeah.
He's just the head of the company. She's in charge of the cosmetic products. So Laurel gives Catwoman a hotel address as well as a cell phone so that the two of them can keep in contact. And Catwoman finds George with Drina. Now, Drina's an upcoming model.
Yeah.
She's replacing Laurel.
Yeah.
Which is why Laurel's really pissed off with George as well as the face of the company. Oh, I know. Corporate espionage, cats.
It's all going on.
It's all happening, isn't it?
Tuna.
Oh, tuna
So
too.
much tuna.
So much tuna. She is actually eating tuna out of a tin at one point, isn't she?
Several tins of tuna on the bed. There's about 6 or 7 tins of tuna. And she's
On
just
the
like eating
bed?
like she's starving, isn't she?
On the bed? Who
Where
eats
does she
tuna
go?
on the bed?
Oh, she goes on a date with the copper at some point and she eats seafood like she's absolutely starving as well. Doesn't she?
Yeah. I think the date's about to come up. But yeah, so they're watching some sort of dance. Unfortunately, again, the security officer has spotted Catwoman, called the police, and when the model leaves, Catwoman tries to interrogate George, but she's cut short by the police suddenly appearing. So she's not getting to the bottom of it. As I say, George has got nothing to do with this bowline cosmetics and, you know, the issues that it caused. But Catwoman doesn't get to the bottom of it. So she disappears. So yeah, Catwoman finds Tom with a gun. He's yeah, that's right. When she's escaping, Tom, the detective, is pointing the gun at her. The two of them flight while she flirts, and she even kisses him before reinforcements arrive. I mean, God, what's that all about? I know. So anyway, the next day, they're on a date, Tom and Patience. And Tom is telling Patience about his encounter with Catwoman, but she doesn't seem jealous. And the two continue to have a great time. See, it has skipped something. In the film, they've skipped that Tom and Patience have a one-on-one basketball game.
Oh, the basketball game.
The basketball game.
Yeah.
It's something
Got
else.
a feeling we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, 100%. But can I just say that it was at this point that I realised at every single moment of action, for every cut that happened, there was at least another 5 cuts. The movie was chop, 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 chop.
Yeah.
And I said to you, I wish I don't want to watch the scene again, but I wish I could go back to the very beginning of that scene. And do you know those clickers that people have to...
Oh, yeah, like nightclubs and town centres and stuff. Yeah.
How many people are in. I wish I had one of those so I could click it every time there was a cut.
Yeah.
For like a 30-second scene, I guarantee you there was over 100 different cuts.
Yeah.
As they tried to make Halle Berry look like she was all over the basketball court. But it wasn't the cuts that really got me. It was the fact that they were doing this really weird, flirty, sexual basketball game, one-on-one with each other, in front of about 50 cheering children.
Yeah, it was weird.
That was so weird.
It was like, get a room.
Yeah, and also get yourselves DBS checked if you're ever going to be in charge of children.
You're not going to be working with children again, no?
No, absolutely not. It was well out of order.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I mean, there's just like... there's nothing to say about it other than that was just weird.
Wildly inappropriate to be in front of a load of school kids.
And I mean, she kept pushing her ass back into him and
there's one point where she got him to the ground and she landed on him, but was like on top of him as if like straddling him as if like very suggestively.
And while she's straddling him, a kid goes, "Can we have our ball back, please?
It's like,
we just want to play basketball."
It's not far off of the scene from Crank where they're having sex in the middle of a busy street.
No, it's not, is it?
And there's a woman stood with her child, isn't there?
Yeah. God.
It's just weird, isn't it?
Oh, honestly. But what they've also missed as well is Catwoman. She steals a load of jewellery at one point.
Yes, she does.
The place where she spotted the necklace,
There's already people,
there's
thieves in there, isn't there? Just
luckily, there's people robbing the place already.
Yeah.
And she then takes them out.
Yeah.
And then robs the place blind.
Yeah. And then doesn't she use the pieces of the necklace she gets to make her little sparkly claws on her outfit?
Because that takes us to where we are in this part of the synopsis right now.
Right, okay.
But absolutely. So although she wakes up the next morning after having stolen all this jewellery...
Yes.
But she bags it all back up and hands all the jewellery back except for the necklace.
Yes.
And yes, all the sort of diamond bits of the necklace become the claws on her costume. So that's exactly what happens. They're then having a further date, and Tom is telling Patience about an encounter with Catwoman. Okay. And they're having a great time, and then Tom finds a diamond-studded claw in Patience's home, and something he instantly recognises as part of Catwoman's claws.
Yeah, when they have their night of passion, don't they?
Yes. Oh, God. So he takes a cup that Patience had drank from to the police lab, where analysis prove...
So
I know.
we thought, didn't we?
Yeah.
Forensics. You can do things like fingerprints on a glass, can't you?
Yes. Yeah.
And you can do things like a hair or a piece of nail or something, DNA like tests.
Yep.
But what he does with it is he takes the glass with the lipstick stain on it and they get a picture of her lips and they try to match them up, don't they?
It's not even a picture of her lips.
Oh.
It's
yes, it's a
because
lipstick
Catwoman
mark.
kisses him,
So
and it's a picture of the lipstick mark.
yes, you're right. It's a lipstick mark on his cheek and the glass, and they're trying to marry them up. But we said, we know that your fingerprints are individual,
Yeah.
but I don't know about your lip print.
So I've just Googled it.
Can the police do that?
And according to, I don't know what website this is, but according to the www.ncbinih.gov, okay,
Yeah.
National Crime Bureau, I don't know if that's what it is, but it is now a well-established fact that lip prints are unique to each individual, similar to fingerprints.
Oh, okay.
The two are considered to be the most important types of transfer evidence. That is, the evidence obtained from the transfer of material from one surface to another when in contact.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
I'll take it back then.
So apparently lip prints are sometimes left at crime scenes when, I don't know, criminals get quite smoochy with what they're stealing. But yeah, there you go. So the vermilion border has minor salivary glands, and the edges of the lips have sebaceous and sweat glands in between. And the secretion of oil and moisture from these enable the development of latent lip prints. So there you go. I mean, I'm not going to worry about looking back and finding if this was a thing from 2004 or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it?
Not me.
No, I know. So now, the old thing of like lipstick on your collar, you can find out exactly who it was.
It was, yeah.
Well, tells you everything now,
Well, if
doesn't
you've got
it?
any other prints of their lips, yeah.
Yeah.
If not, you're screwed.
Yeah, well, if it was, I don't know, Maureen that came round for a party on Saturday,
Yeah.
wait a second.
I recognise that lip print anywhere.
That's the same shade. Anyway. So the analysis proves that Patience and Catwoman are the same person. Meanwhile, Patience wakes up alone in bed and receives a call from Laurel, who says she's found evidence of her husband's crimes. Catwoman goes to the Hedera residence only to fall for a trap. Jod had been clawed at and fatally shot. Laurel tosses the gun into Catwoman's hand so that the police would identify her as the killer. I know. Her agility and Laurel's exercise outfit helps Patience escape the police. That doesn't make sense. Her agility and Laurel's exercise outfit. Oh, yeah, she steals a sweatsuit from Laurel. But it helps her escape the police. She gets home, but Tom's waiting for her. And he knows if she wanted to, she could quickly disarm him. But she doesn't. And she actually lets him arrest her to be taken in for interrogation.
Yes.
Patience pleading her case and trying to explain, but Tom's pointing out all the evidence pointed to Catwoman as the killer. However, as much as they are really far ahead with lip prints, they're not very good with gun residue, because if Catwoman had shot George, the gun residue would have been all over her cat gloves. So surely they just test that.
Yeah.
Because even catching a gun that's been fired, you're not going to get as much gun residue on you.
This was 20 years ago, but I think forensics were still pretty good.
Yeah,
weren't they?
I think gun residue
Stuff they
forensics
can
would
do
have been
now,
fine then.
the way they can find the culprit now, you just think, wow, they know things like from the blood splatter who fired a gun or what angle it was fired from. Like, they can tell if you shot yourself or someone else shot you with things like blood splatter, because it splatters differently depending on weapon,
and
even who's holding it, where it's coming from.
Like burning around the wound, because if you put a gun against your temple and fired, it's going
to be different than if it's from a distance and things like that. And they can
exactly.
Yeah, they can do so much, and also, like you said, not only would she have some DNA on her, her DNA would be on the dead body as well, surely.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know if it's shot from distance, but...
Well, but also she was scratching the hell out of him as well, apparently.
Well, yeah, so her DNA would be all over him, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And do you know how much cats shed?
I know how much dogs do.
Her hairs would be all over the place.
Yeah.
And they'd walk in and there'd just be a real stench of tuna breath.
Yeah.
So, obviously, all the evidence points out that Catwoman is a killer. Patience is realising now that Tom's probably still seeing her as the girl from his first impression, a crazy woman with suicidal or even hallucinatory tendencies. And in tears, in tears, giving the
Yeah,
performance of a lifetime. Oscar winner, Halle Berry, is a broken woman.
She says to him, doesn't she, like, that she's just, remember back to when you met me, and,
yes,
you know, you thought I was a suicidal woman and blah, blah, blah. And she gives him this whole spiel about that she's, that's who she really is. The person he met on that ledge is the person she really is, and she's not this, like, murderous woman
exactly.
that is doing all these crimes.
I know.
It's very emotional.
I'm already falling asleep. Sorry, what?
This is getting to the point in the movie where we're like, just end.
Yeah, honestly, just end. Why do we need all this stuff with George? Just give us a bad guy that she deals with and get it over with. So anyway, midnight the cat turns up at the prison cell and squeezes its way in through the cell window.
Oh yeah, this is funny
which gives Patience an idea. Wait a second.
This is ridiculous.
If a cat can slinky their way through, surely I can do that.
Yeah.
And literally, she just
steps out of the bars of the cell.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Like, you can't. That doesn't work like that. And also, I don't know about in America, but over here, whenever I've watched like 24 Hours in Police Custody...
I thought you were going to say like whenever I've been in prison.
No, I've never been to prison, luckily. But whenever I've watched any documentaries on it, it is a solid door with a little like letterbox bit where they can speak to them through.
I don't know what it's like in American prisons.
They don't do the... I mean,
not prisons, but
when you're actually in prison, then I think it is bars, but they're close together because obviously you've got to give people a chance of escaping. That's the whole point. They're locked up for a reason. You don't want them just walking out the bars like they do in a cartoon. But she gets out of the bars and then she hides behind this post because there's some guards walking by. They walk straight by and don't even see her.
Yes.
And then she kind of...
She just appears on the other side of the wall.
I thought it was a pillar. But it's not. It's a solid wall.
How did she do it?
We don't know how she did that.
Yeah, they walk by and then all of a sudden she pops her head round the wrong side.
And we're just like, what? How did that happen?
Honestly, it's like an hour and 30 minutes into the film, and if you ever watch Catwoman, just watch out for this moment where she hides behind the wall. She goes out of sight, the two police walk by, and then she appears behind the other side of the wall. Yeah. It's absolutely mad. Anyway, it just blows my mind. So anyway, she escapes and she goes to Bowline's production warehouse and she disables all the trucks so that this new cosmetic can't be delivered. Because as soon as people start using it, they have to keep using it or their faces will literally melt. And her friend's in hospital, but she hasn't used it that much, so her face isn't melting. She just collapsed. Yeah. So Tom goes to the Bowline press conference where Laurel is heavily promoting the product and giving out free samples. He takes her aside and indicates that he had evidence about her crimes, and when she unintentionally confesses, he is unprepared for her murderous reaction. Tom gets shot. She shoots him. She just shoots a cop. That's how you get away with things. Yeah, just shoot a cop. Yeah, that's what happens. But luckily Catwoman arrives, but Tom's already injured and unable to run quickly out the building. Instead, they're forced to stay behind to fight Laurel and her lackeys. Despite his injured state, Tom is able to take care of himself, and Catwoman fights her way to Laurel for a final confrontation. However, to her dismay, it turns out that Laurel is unable to feel pain because of her use of this Bowline stuff. Her skin's like impervious to damage. She doesn't feel pain because of it. So she's got her own kind of superpowers because of skin cream. So, if anything, it's just a great advert for just making sure that, you hydrate. Yeah. It's just so weird. Suddenly she's got these superpowers because of it. But nevertheless, Catwoman eventually somehow manages to damage her skin, okay? And that causes Laurel... So she damages her skin. Laurel's hanging off of something and she kind of sees her damaged skin and she kind of gives up because her face is injured. Yeah. And she's so vain that because her face is injured, she just decides to let herself go and die. Yeah. There's no point.
There's no point.
Yeah. So, beauty kills in this film, I'm afraid, folks.
Yeah.
And for the first time, Catwoman realises she's killed someone. But Catwoman's exploits end up on the news. The company's shut down, partially because of the ambiguous nature of Catwoman, partially out of guilt. Patience is unable to relax. She breaks up with Tom and prepares to live her own life, free and untamed, as the Catwoman. And that's it.
The end.
The end.
Yes.
And it took so long to get there.
I know.
It was a bad film. And do you know what? I mean, fair play to Halle Berry. She won the Razzie for this film.
Yeah.
And I think I think she was the first person to turn up to collect her Razzie at the Razzie Awards.
Yeah.
But she turned up with her Oscar that she got for Monsters Ball 2 years prior, which I think is like, look, you're giving me this, but I am also an Oscar winner, so kind of fuck you too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Who takes the Oscar anywhere though? Like, surely it goes into a home and that's it. You don't take it around with you, do you?
Yeah, I know. I find it odd. I find that odd. But, you know, if I won an Oscar, if I won an Oscar, I'd probably carry it around with me everywhere. Just like, look, I won an Oscar.
Yeah. Or just carry a picture of you holding it. Have it as a screensaver.
No. I'll carry a picture of me holding it, and I'll just be like, here's a picture of me holding it once I'm holding it,
me.
and I'm in the exact same pose.
Yeah, or have a T-shirt made up.
Don't say that, because
Ask me about my Oscar. Yeah.
I'm gonna get. Oh.
You're gonna get what?
I think I would get, like, I've done that before, where people have said, get a T-shirt made up.
Yeah.
And as a joke, I've got a T-shirt made up.
Yeah.
So I used to work with a fella that we nicknamed Rambo. Okay.
Yeah.
This is when I worked in metalwork, and Rambo, right, Dave, Rambo, touch on it.
Yeah.
Right? And
sounds delightful.
His real name was Adrian. Okay. He wasn't a delightful person. He was. He was really one of those like people who you just think some of the things you say are the most disgusting things I think I've ever heard a human being say. So he was fair game.
Yeah.
But everything, you know, honestly, he would have these things that he would say, and I can't even remember what it was now. He'd always say, oh God, I can't remember it. But anyway, you know the Frankie Say Relax T-shirts?
Yes.
I got a T-shirt made up saying Rambo says, oh, that's it. He'd always say, have it. Right, about anything.
Yeah.
You know, whether he was talking about a woman or whether he was talking about football or whatever, it'd be like, have it. And he had such a deep voice, but he was a tiny, tiny little man. And so, like,
I was picturing quite a big guy.
No.
Yeah.
He had this really deep voice, but I think he was putting it on. Anyway,
Yeah.
One day at work, anyway, I walk in, I know what I've done. Anyway, I come in with my overalls on, and I'm out on the shop floor, and I just take my overalls off, and slowly people realise my T-shirt's like Rambo says, have it.
Yeah. How did he react to it?
He kind of just laughed, but then I felt bad. I felt like, oh God, am I actually just bullying this man? But he was also horrible. So, I don't know. I was in a quandary. But then also, I was young.
Yeah, I mean...
So now, my mind goes to... Because that's not the only time I've made up a T-shirt.
Oh, what other T-shirts have you had?
There was, you know those Facebook things that go around? It's like your rapper name is...
Oh, yeah.
Like...
Yeah, mum's maiden name, the last thing you ate.
The last thing you ate. Lil, the last thing you ate.
Yeah.
And your album covers something or other.
Yeah.
Anyway, mine's turned out to be like a picture of a beagle dog and Lil Hummus, because I'd just eaten some hummus.
Yeah.
And like someone joked with me about, oh, that's a great name, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
So, I made a T-shirt up of it. You've probably seen it. I don't know if I've ever worn it.
No.
But it's there. It's actually probably at the bottom of the pile of my T-shirts, to be fair. But it exists. And what did you say it should be? Ask me about my Oscar.
Ask me about my Oscar, yeah.
Okay. All
You're
right.
going to make one now, aren't you?
I know. We don't have any merch.
No, we don't.
We don't. And I don't think
Ask me about my podcast.
Ask me about my podcast.
We should get those made up.
We should. Just wear those. I have been tempted to get...
And then our logo.
Yeah, to get like hoodies or T-shirts with our logo on.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not like selling merch, but you just put the design into Redbubble or something, but they're so expensive.
I know.
It's just stupidly expensive. You know. If anybody wants to, just download our logo and put it on a T-shirt if you really want it yourself. It'll be much cheaper to do it that way.
Yeah.
We're literally going to make no money out of it, so it's it's not worth it. Just help yourselves. I mean, well, actually, I'm saying that help yourselves, but you did draw the logo.
Yeah.
It's your work, so
We'll have to charge people if they're going to make hoodies
fair.
out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I might have them done for copyright.
Yeah, and it's only fair.
Yeah.
Because, it's so much a likeness of us. It really is. Anyway. All right, so we've got to talk about the good stuff, okay?
Yes,
we've got
short and sweet.
costume, special effects, music, actress, and supporting cast. Now...
Okay, I only have good for special effects.
Okay.
Music.
I think you've probably got the same good
and
music
I've got
as
a
me.
good death, so it's a wild card.
Oh, you've thrown in a wild card. Okay.
But other than that, it's all... So the flip side's going to be great.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I really struggled for good stuff.
I've got a good supporting cast. I don't have a good actress.
No, I don't.
In this film, it just didn't happen.
No.
I've got
Even
good
though we've
music.
got an Oscar winner, she just...
I know. But, I mean...
She wasn't great, was she?
I think there was one point where she literally went...
Yeah.
She went for really long.
And it was all the little head movements and stuff for me. It's like,
honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. I very quickly got very bored of it all.
Yeah.
I've got good special effects and I don't have a good costume. For a superhero movie, there's no good costume.
There's definitely a bad costume, but there isn't a good one. So, should we do special effects?
Yeah, let's go on with special effects.
So, the special effect I liked, and you might not agree with this.
Oh.
Most of them are pretty shit, but when she dies and the cats... So, the cats must have taken her out of the water because she's laying on the ground. And the CGI cat's on her chest.
Yes.
And the way she gets her superpowers is that it breathes its tuna breath in her face.
Uh-huh.
But we have a close-up of her face, and as the cat breathes on her, we have a close-up of her pupil.
Oh, yes.
And it goes from human pupil to, like, the cat's eye, like, like the slitty kind of vertical eye.
Yes, yeah.
But it just kind of goes, whoop, and I thought that was quite good, actually. I quite like that little detail.
Yeah, I agree. That was a good little detail, and it looked good as well.
Good, yeah.
Yes, that's a really good point. Is that your only good special effects?
Yeah, other than that, I thought the rest of it was pretty bad. But yes, what was your one?
So in this film there were a lot of aerial shots of the city. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of aerial shots of the city, and this film was directed by a fella called Pitoff. Okay, and I think there are moments of genius in there in some of the directing stuff that he did. I cannot think. Oh, see, look, he's done a lot of visual effects stuff, which is interesting. A lot of visual effects on stuff rather than directing films. But there are some absolutely amazing aerial shots of the city, and the way the camera moves through, it's clear that it's not real. It's CGI, but it's so clear, and it looks like, it looks like a really clean city as well. But it's not like Gotham or anything like that. It's a fresh, bright, clean city. It looks really good. And then there was one point when I said to you, "Oh my God, that was an amazing shot," and I saw it coming. When Patience goes to see the Ophelia, the crazy cat lady.
Yes.
That lady lives in kind of like a ramshackle house next to some high-rise buildings.
Yes.
And we're looking at a reflection of this house in one of those high-rise buildings.
Yes.
And the camera is zooming towards this high-rise building, and we're looking at the reflection, and we go into the reflection to the house, and the action starts.
Yeah. There was quite a few of those little shots that you really liked, wasn't there?
And it was so clever, and it was really well done. There was some really lovely camera stuff and special effects stuff hidden in this film. But then you've got stuff like that, which I thought was really lovely, really wonderful, mixed in with these action scenes that have got like 5,000 cuts in them.
Yeah.
And it's like, just make it make sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like some stuff was directed by one person and other stuff was directed by another.
Yeah.
You know?
It wasn't consistent, was it?
And for a man with only one name, literally Pitoff,
yeah,
he's got multiple personalities as a director. But I find it interesting that he does a lot more visual effects stuff rather than directing, known for visual effects more than directing.
Yeah.
Because, it's more like it's style over substance for a lot of it. But it's, I found that there was a lot of those aerial shots that weren't real shots, but it was real cities. And then that one as well, I was actually like, it was, you know that meme of like Leonardo DiCaprio when he's pointing at the TV in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That was like me going, look at that scene!
Yeah. Look at that
so good! So yeah, I really loved that. I was blown away by it. Absolutely blown away by that.
I remember you had a few that you were like, oh, that's a really nice shot.
Yeah. But those were the only good bits.
Yeah.
In the whole film, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. What about... So neither of us got anything good for costume, have we?
No, we've got bad.
I mean, literally, even if you look at just like the normal clothes people were wearing, it was all very just generic.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, nothing jumped out. So, what about music? Because I think I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yes, music. Was it when they were playing basketball?
Yes.
Yes, when they were playing basketball, Scandalous by Mystique came on, and I was like, this is Mystique. And you were like, who? At first, I don't think you knew what it was. And I was like, yeah, it's Alicia Dixon.
I recognised the song, but I didn't realise it was Mystique, a British girl band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, Mystique. It was, yeah.
So I quite like that because I was like, this is... When did that song come out, actually? Because I feel like that was 90s, but yeah, it probably was early 2000s.
I don't know.
But yeah, it was actually a British band that...
That was released in March 2003.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it was quite recent at the time.
And it was their biggest international hit. Sorry, what was that? It was their biggest international hit.
It was just a real blast from the past for me. I was just like, it's British band, and that was quite a bop in the day, wasn't it? Back in the day when I was going to clubs and stuff. That was
scandalous.
So yeah, I quite liked that. The rest of the music...
Oh yeah, I mean there was a lot of the rest of the music was really just very generic. I mean there was one piece of music that's flip side, but there was one piece of music that was just repeated over and over and over again in the same fight scenes. Oh,
it was not good. But that song came on, I was like, oh, actually, this takes me back to my youth.
I wonder how many plays Mystique Scandalous has had on Spotify. Oh no. Oh wow, that's really loud.
That's like a plane or a helicopter.
Well, there's it's quite interesting. There's been a lot of really, really loud aeroplanes coming overhead, and I think it's all planes coming back from the D-Day celebrations.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because they cross over us going back up north and things like that.
Yeah.
From France, so yeah, because there was a plane earlier that went overhead my house, which was, I mean, it was thunderously loud.
Yeah.
But people think there was an American jet, an F-35, I think, that was peeling past us, and it was stupidly loud.
I think I saw quite a small plane earlier go overhead as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So would you like to know how many listens Scandalous has had?
Yes.
50 million.
Wow.
On Spotify, considering it was a song released in 2003.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
Not bad, is it?
That is not bad.
And will they get royalties on that every time it's listened to? Or
yeah, I think you get something like 0.000001 pence or something like that from Spotify.
50 million.
Yeah, 50 million. No, 50 quid. Lovely. Oh, nice.
But Alicia Dixon's like, whoa, ka-ching.
I think she's probably made her money from
Britain's Got Talent.
Britain's Got Talent.
Is it X Factor? Britain's Got Talent she's on, isn't
Britain's
it?
Got Talent.
Yeah.
And then didn't she do Strictly Come Dancing as well?
Was she
I didn't really watch it. I think she was a contestant at first.
And then she was a judge,
then she was a judge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you know what? Good for her.
Yeah.
Absolutely good for her. And good for Mystique.
Yeah, good for them.
Being the only recognisable song in this whole film.
Yeah.
And actually the only proper song used in this whole film. That was what the whole budget was on.
Actually, yeah.
20 million. 20 million in the back pocket of the three ladies of Mystique.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got that down as my good music as well.
Yep.
Because it's Mystique Scandalous.
Yeah.
And back in the day.
That would have been playing in the clubs.
Yeah. Back in the day, definitely. Takes me back to my youth. Actually, I was out of clubs long by then. 2003. Yeah.
Well, I think I was still very much clubbing then. I would have been.
Well, yeah, but I had a child in 2003, so.
Yeah, no, I didn't. So.
Yeah, so yeah, I've missed my youth.
Yeah.
That's why I'm reliving it now in my 40s.
Are you?
No, definitely not. No.
Who can be bothered in their 40s to go clubbing, for God's sake?
No, but
I can't think of anything worse. Actually, I can have another baby.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, if someone said to you, you've got to go clubbing every weekend for a year, or you've got to have another child.
Oh, I'd definitely go clubbing. I would be clubbing.
I'd hate it, but I would do it.
Yeah. Oh, God. Well, we both decided we don't have anything of a good actress.
No, definitely not.
That leads us to good supporting cast.
I didn't have any good supporting cast, either did you?
Well, I do, actually, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, I've got your fella that played George, the head of the company.
Oh, yes,
Lambert Wilson,
yeah.
who was the Merovingian in The Matrix. And not because he was the Merovingian in The Matrix and I recognised him, but just because he actually played the smarmy, annoying boss of a cosmetic company really well. Because I know so many of them.
Yes, I know you do.
I know them all.
In your line of work.
In my line of work. I've actually been to the offices of a lot of cosmetic companies in the UK, believe it or not.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, but I only ever speak to the finance teams, so it's very different.
Not really the same,
yeah, no, it's not the same. It's not the same. But yeah, he played it really well. He absolutely gave off that vibe. Smartly dressed, really up himself, and just it was a face you wanted to punch. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, it was very much.
It really was a face you wanted to punch, and the look on his face when Patience gives it back to him as well, and it's like he's not expecting it. You know he's never had anyone speak back to him like this, and yeah, it was a treat. So yeah, I would say Lambert Wilson. I've never seen him in anything else apart from Catwoman in The Matrix.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
And there you go. So he was my best supporting cast.
Okay.
So do you have any wild cards?
Yeah, the only good wild card I've got is Death.
Okay.
And I don't even know who it was now.
Oh no.
We'll come clean with the listeners. We watched this last night and then we're recording the night after.
We're not remembering nothing.
Our memories are terrible. There was a point where there was a fight scene going on, and I think it was the end where Laurel dies. I think is it Lauren or Laurel?
Laurel. Yes, Laurel.
I think it's when she dies at the end. But there's a point where there's a guy just stood in front of like a big giant poster on the wall, or it's either a pull-up banner or a poster.
Oh yeah.
And out of nowhere, this hand just comes through the poster and grabs him and kills him.
Yeah.
I quite liked that. I thought
yes.
It was quite good because you weren't expecting it. So this arm just comes out and grabs hold, and that's it. He's dead.
That's right.
I can't remember how they killed him. Actually, I know the arm came out of the poster, but I'm not sure how they.
I don't know if it was killing either though, but it might have been or knocking out or taking out. But I think that's fine to go under Death because. You know, it's that kind of thing where a henchman's taken out and that's it, they're not in it anymore. So are they dead? Are they alive? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But they're in a bad way.
Yeah.
But I just quite liked that because I wasn't expecting it. I thought it was quite nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did you have any wild cards?
Well, I had a good line.
Oh, okay.
So there's a point when Patience goes to attack George. No, sorry. Not George. The guy that had shot at her. And she goes into a club. She follows him into a club. And this is before she talks to him. And she goes up to the bar and the barman's like, well, it'll be. And she says, White Russian, no ice, no vodka, hold the Kahlua.
Yes,
and he's like,
milk.
One cream coming up.
Yeah, and then she like necks it, doesn't she?
Yeah, and she's got a milk moustache.
Yes.
I thought, Right.
Yeah.
We've had like the really badly placed humour around, you know, oh no, that lady's trying to kill herself, when in fact she's just trying to catch a cat.
Yeah.
And then there was like this kooky, stupid joke
Yeah.
that actually I thought, yeah, I'll give you that one because that was a really clever line. 100%. Perfect line. Really perfect line. But there were not many good lines at all. There was a lot of terrible, terrible lines. But yeah, that's the only kind of. I'm just trying to think. I'm just scanning through my notes. But yeah, that's literally the only sort of extra thing that I can think of.
Okay, so should we move on to scores?
Yeah, I think we have to. So how many stars are we giving Catwoman?
I'm going to give it 1.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I think I'm only giving it 1 because there was a few comical little moments in there. So,
yeah, okay.
Things like when she was jumping about all over the place, I thought that was quite funny.
Oh, yeah.
The CGI cat was quite amusing. There was little bits and pieces that I thought, okay, that was quite good. But overall, I mean, I've really struggled for good stuff. So the fact that, there was one little bit of CGI that I liked and there was little bits that made me laugh a little bit and one decent song, I think I've got to give it a 1. I don't think I've got enough to give it any more.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you on that. It's getting 1 star from me because, yeah, like I enjoyed some of the shots in the film, but the
actual film itself.
And
it was too long, and I did get bored towards the end.
Yeah, it's not enough to make a good film, and then all the really sort of good aerial shots and those kinds of things I was talking about, they're destroyed by the constant cutting during any action sequence. And I mean, even if like I can turn around and say, there was a really clever line in there were just so many other terrible lines that just took away from it. I don't think it's a 0-star movie.
No, but when you think about other movies like Toxic Avenger,
yes,
I mean that was shorter, I think.
Yeah,
but
it was.
You had like some movies keep you watching, and they've got enough to keep you interested. Yeah. And then there's movies we watch like this where I could quite happily just go to sleep, and I wouldn't be sad to miss the end of that movie. Obviously, we're doing it to review it, so I can't miss the end. But if that was a movie I put on just for an evening, and I wasn't reviewing it, there's no way I would have got through the whole thing.
No.
I would have turned that off quite early on, I think.
Yeah. Even if I decided to think to myself, you know what, in preparation for recording, I'm going to watch some of that again.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I could have brought myself to do it.
No.
I don't think I could have. But like I say, I don't think it's a 0-star film like Captain America or whatever. Well, actually, was that negative stars, wasn't it? That was negative stars.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
But
is that the first negative stars we've had?
It was, yeah. It was the very first time. It set a precedence though. Now, like you gave it -6 stars because it's like literally the anti Snakes on a Plane.
Oh yeah, Snakes on a Plane. All day long.
No, I think you gave it -5 and I gave it -4.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought, look, I'm not going -5. That's where madness lies. No chance.
I'm not an animal. Not to draw a line.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that was pretty bad though, wasn't it, Captain?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is what are you giving this?
1 star. I'm giving it 1 star because there were some bits in it that I liked, genuinely liked.
Yeah.
From a movie making kind of thing, which makes me sound like, actually, well, if you looked at the shots here, but they did. They made the little bit of a film fan of me go, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Enough to not give it 0 stars.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But otherwise, there's no other redeeming factor.
That's the thing. I think if we've got an absolutely terrible movie that we can't find one positive in, then we've got to give it a 0. But this had a couple of little bits.
Yes.
So
yeah.
We do have to score it. So yeah,
and
1 out of 5.
we struggled finding any good bits about Captain America. We really struggled.
Yeah.
It's like, it would have been, it was a night. I mean, we still did talk about a couple of things in it on the flip side. And absolutely, if you want to hear the flip side of the Captain America one, please do. If you sign up for the Patreon, even just for a month to hear that and hear how we struggled to find we struggled to find anything good about it. It was interesting time. So, what film are we going to watch next week? Catwoman 2 with Halle Berry.
I quit.
Oh, actually, tell you this as well. I can't remember when. This is something I found quite interesting. So, Batman Begins was the Christian Bale Batman, the first one. Okay.
Yeah.
And that was released in 2005, the year after this. Okay. But there was supposed to be, before this film was released, because it was delayed, apparently, or there were issues with getting the film out and so on. There were thoughts about having Halle Berry's character as Catwoman in the first Christian Bale Batman Begins film.
Yeah.
Which would have made it a very different movie, I think. Oh. But yeah, get that fact for you Bat fans.
Yeah.
Anyway, Emma, shall we say goodbye to our lovely, lovely listeners and
I think we should
get ourselves over to record
the flip side.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so, thank you very much, everybody. If you are interested in hearing more, please do come and join us on www.patreon.com/ICBadMovies, where we're going to now be talking about all the bad bits.
Which there are many.
In Catwoman. So thank you very much for listening. Bye.
Bye.